Winfrey had. So it was a magnificent piece of writing and a magnificent kind of parallel and awareness for a child to have. And this juxtaposition of sexual abuse and death was magnificent. Oh my God, it worked on every level. But the publisher said this is not going to be in the book.
Did she send it to you, or did she show it to you?
She brought it to a workshop and she read it. There was even a newspaper reporter present there. And we all realized it was fantastically powerful. But then she said, they won't take this. This is not the first workshop I've been bumped out of. The first workshop I was in was a lot of very nice ladies, and I was probably 20 years. And I had written a scene in which a young man, has done up an inflatable sex doll so it looks exactly like the woman he's obsessed with. And during the seduction of this sex doll, he accidentally snags the back of it with the zipper of its dress. And he realizes during the fornication that it is gradually losing air. So he's got to copulate faster and faster to try to achieve orgasm before this thing completely goes flat. And at the end of the scene, he's standing there with this completely deflated sex doll hanging off of his erection like this surrender flag. And of course his mother walks into the room. And after I wrote that scene, the leader of the workshop I was in, my first workshop, she took me aside afterwards. She said, she really did. She said, you've written something that really frightens them, and they would like you to lightly leave the workshop and not come back. And so that's when I started with Tom Spanbauer's workshop, in which almost anyone.
It seems to me that anybody's going to appreciate that. It's going to be right.
No, I'm delving into the deep recesses of your mind. Something feels like comedians. It's like, oh my gosh, that happened. And a lot of times, there are things that people have never talked about. I tell a classic anecdote after I read a Gup story at an event. A woman came up, and she was a middle-aged woman. She was about my age. And she said, I really love that you read that story about how you got your anus prolapsed while masturbating in a swimming pool, which is not my story, but I'm the one that read it. So that's the one, I'm the one that they're picturing in this horrendous situation. And she says, since you can tell that story, I'm going to tell you a story. And she said how when she was 7 years old, she was in second grade. She was in an organization called the Brownies, which is a precursor to the Girl Scouts. You wear a brown dress, little brown hat, you get these little merit badges. And she said, one day I had a stomach ache, and my mom kept me home from school. And we had this heating pad, it must have been in the 1960s, and this heating pad had this vibrating function. And she put me face down on this heating pad on my stomach. And I fell asleep, and while I was asleep, this vibrating, warm heating pad must have slid down between my legs. She says, because I woke up with the most amazing feeling. A feeling like I'd never felt before. Oh my God, it felt so good. And so, next time it was my turn to host the Brownies, I said, Brownies, you've got to try this heating pad. And she says, all the Brownies, they turned the heating pad on, the vibrating heating pad, and they rode it like a pony all afternoon. And she said it was like Sex in the City for 7-year-old girls. They could not get enough of this heating pad. And they were all riding this heating pad, and they had a great time. And she said, and for the first time in my life, I was the most popular girl in my class. And I was the girl that all the girls wanted to play with. And for every Brownie troop meeting, it was at my house. And I was the leader. Until the day that my mother came home from work early. And she caught us with a heating pad. she sent the other brownies home, and she whipped the cord out of the wall. She just ripped it out of the socket, and she started to beat me with it. And she beat me with that cord, and she beat me. She said, "Fucking piece of shit, you dirty whore. What kind of a fucking whore am I raising? You whore." She says, "This woman is my age now." She says, "I have not been since I was 7 years old." And then she goes, "You can tell me a really cool story about how you got hurt jacking off your wall." She says, "I can tell my heating pad story. And I can tell that story until I can make it funny. And then maybe someday I can tell it on the phone. I can say, do you remember that heating pad you used to have?" And it'll be complete."
Oh, shit.
And so see, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create the opening for people to tell these stories that they never thought that they could tell. Because that's the way in which they're going to resolve these stories. And they're going to master these stories.
If someone's telling a joke, or if someone's on stage talking about someone who's fat, and there's a fat person in the front row, that joke is like, because that's what people are people overall. You know, they recognize that they don't want to cause pain.
Another really odd comic David Sedaris story is that he always told me